that crazy kid that ran off and jumped in the river. I'm going to try and find him. The wake of devastation. We got off lightly. All the windows have been put through. There's blood everywhere. Oh, the place has been trashed. It's too far away.
Let me tell you a story. A story of two people living very normal lives. They both worked hard, day in, day out. They had regular hobbies, which they pursued to the fullest. Yet something was missing. We all have dreams. Daring to dream is the very thing that makes us human. Yet for many of us, our wildest dreams exist in a place far removed from our reality. Finding the courage to step out onto the ledge, where adventure begins. This is where we're truly alive. This is the story of Kadoha.
Okay, no sooner have we arrived to our lovely, beautiful actually, lovely new destination than it is time to leave again. We are just about shortly to depart on a trip to take Kadoha to get her mast and taken down and all the rigging changed and renewed and have the mast inspected and all that good stuff. From swinging back to forth, like we're gonna sail down to the Med via the Biscay, to then having a change of heart, thinking we're going to go through the French waterways, this whole pandemic hitting, and then we stopped and thought, well, we've gone and bought a blue water boat that's already taken people all the way around the world. What are we doing? We're not going to sail it through the canals. So we're going to get the mast taken down and say all the rigging changed, going to get everything renewed that needs renewing, so we've got full confidence in the boat to be able to do her job and not let us down. And as soon as these restrictions are lifted, we're off. But first things first, we've got to find our way from this, as I say, palatial spot on the River Hamble down to Itchin Marina. So let's see how that goes. All right, Captain Carly. What is the plan of action?
Plan of action is we are going to spring off this pontoon in the middle of mooring because we've got wind on our bow. So we're going to swing her out, head downriver, motor down to Itchin Marine, which should take us about 50 minutes, and then we're going to raft alongside a beautiful old wooden boat.
And we're not going to leave a mark on it.
We're not going to leave a single mark.
Okay, so boat directly behind me, and the wind is blowing directly on our port side beam. So what I don't think is going to happen is just as we release the lines, it's just going to blow us out into the river, and then we're going to head off. No dramas, no real complications, piece of cake. Let's see how that unfolds. Hey guys, welcome back, and I'm sure you'll be pleased to know that we managed to raft up to that beautiful classic wooden sailing boat without leaving a mark. huge relief off our shoulders too. Although I imagine a lot of you are sat here after watching that first few minutes of the video thinking, all right, cool, great, well, what happened with the whole burglary thing? What happened? And I shall tell you. But before that, if this is your first time here, I just want you to take a second, just right now, just a second, and just hit that subscribe button and the bell as well, the notification bell. And you can be kept up to speed with this adventure as and when it unfolds. We don't have a predictable timetable of when we release the videos, so super important to hit the bell, and then YouTube will let you know as and when they come available, and you can obviously keep up to speed with how we're progressing on this adventure. But the robbery. Look, living on a sailing boat, yeah, somebody attempting to burgle you or attempting to rob you whilst you're living on a sailing boat is definitely a thought that is in the back of your mind. It's a bit more in the forefront of our mind now. And there are some vulnerabilities when you live on a sailboat that you just don't really have in a house, you know, like being blown onto the shore or sinking. And burglary is kind of one of them as well. And I appreciate people in houses get burgled, but you know, the house feels a bit more secure. You've got security lights, neighbours, nice neighbourhoods and the rest of it. Whereas a sailing boat just feels that much more vulnerable. You know, there's no security lights here, we don't have a big garden or walls or fences, and it's just easy for somebody to step on the boat and decide to start liberating things. Now, this particular story of this guy attempting to rob us whilst we were asleep on the boat, we obviously, when this kind of thing happens, you wake up, your cogs aren't really turning properly yet, and you're waking up trying to figure stuff out. So we didn't have all our cameras set up and the lights and the sound all figured out. It was just waking up. So the first half of this debacle didn't really have any doesn't have any footage. So what Carly and I have done now is we've tried with painstaking accuracy to recreate exactly what happened in that moment. It's early in the morning after we've moored up, and I hear a noise. And there's lots of noises going on, but this sounds different. I can't tell you what it was just something was off, and I open my eyes. And as I sit up, I go to have a look out the window, and I can see some feet just kind of crossing the window on the other boat. Okay, it could be the owners of the other boat because someone's doing some work. I don't know. Again, my cogs are turning slowly. So I sit back a little bit and I go to look out the hatch, and I can see somebody sort of leaning over towards our boat, and they have a tool in their hand. No, it was a bit more menacing than that. I think it was like a pair of Stilsons yeah, that's it. That's the one. So someone's got a tool in their hand and they're leaning over towards our boat. And again, with this kind of slow turning of the cogs in my head, I think, well, okay, well, this could still be, this could still be the guys that are coming to do some work on the boat. Perhaps they just start really early in the morning. Anyway, at this point, it did feel early in the morning, and so I grabbed my phone and I decided to have a look at the time, and it's at that point that I realised it's 5:30 in the morning. Like, damn, these guys start early. And something just didn't feel right. So I put my head out to have a look, and I shout over to the guy, like, hey, what are you doing? At that point, the person is actually leaving the boat with the paddleboard, and when I shout over to them, they drop the paddleboard, they have a little freak out, and then just bolt and run off down the pontoon. At that point, I decide to chase after them for a moment, and then I stop, and I realise they've run down the pontoon in the direction where there's no way out. I thought, what an idiot. So I've gone and picked up the paddleboard, I've put it back on the boat, and I said to Carly, pass me a camera. This is going to be fun. So Carly passes me a camera, and I decide to just calmly walk down the pontoon and realise that he'll be stood there somewhere thinking, bugger. And at that point, we can have a conversation. As I get to the end of the pontoon, the crazy kid has only gone and dived into the river and is swimming across the river over towards the bank. And at that point, I'm just like, okay, he obviously wanted to get away. Now, I wasn't really going to pursue it much after this. I thought, I imagine he's drunk, high as a kite, or not playing with a full deck, and he's going to be freezing cold on top of that now. He tried to take the paddleboard, he hasn't got the paddleboard. No harm, no foul. We've all been drunk and young and stupid. I mean, who hasn't woken up in the morning with a hangover and a traffic cone in their bedroom? We've all done that, right? Right? Anyway, I decide no harm, no foul. Paddleboard's fine. It's 5:30 in the morning. I haven't had a coffee yet. I'm just let him go. I'm sure his day will be worse than mine. At that point, I decide to go and use the facilities. And as I'm walking up the pontoon, I notice the boats have been smashed to pieces, like they've been raided and looted. And then as I go further up the pontoon, there's just this wake of devastation. Cars are smashed in, windows, bonnets, just traffic, there's just stuff everywhere. Everything was trashed. And at that point, I felt terrible. I just let this guy get away. So I run back to the boat. I'm like, Carly, give me the keys. I've still got the GoPro in my hand. Give me the car keys. I'm running up like, what the hell? Check this out. Just try and get a little bit of footage to capture the moment. There's blood everywhere. There's evidence as well for the police. And then I decide to jump in the car, get out, and I'm going to follow the road that hugs the coast and try and catch up with where he is. It's 5:30 in the morning. There's some drunk, late teens, early 20s guy who's soaking wet. He can't be hard to find, right? So I'm driving around, and eventually I pull into like the third road, I think it was, and there's an ambulance just next to the water. And I didn't see anyone else, and I decided, he's not here. And I was about to turn off and drive off, and I thought, I'll just double check. And I get out of the car and I go over to the ambulance driver. And I'm like, hey, mate, is there a guy in the back of the ambulance? And the ambulance driver is looking a bit kind of, why are you asking? I'm like a guy who looks like he's just got out of the river, maybe got a bit of blood all over him, soaking wet, not the full ticket. And he went, yeah, he is. And I explained to the guy what had happened. He's like, look, I can't give you his details and I can't let you talk to him, but look, we're going to take him to this hospital. This is our job number. If you liaise with the police, make sure they've got these details, and then obviously you can take it from there. So luckily nobody was hurt. There was a lot of damage done. We got off pretty lightly, but I wasn't hurt, Carly was hurt, nothing was stolen. The kid ended up in hospital. I don't know if the police actually ended up catching up with him or not. When we spoke to the police, they didn't seem to really care, to be honest. We told them what had happened, and they said, there's evidence everywhere, there's blood everywhere, there's DNA, I'm sure, to come and collect. They were like, nah, we're not going to send somebody. We'll give you a call in a couple of days and take a statement. So I don't know what they did with it. So yeah, that was the drama, that was the chaos. And when we spoke to, we've been in the marina now for a week, and thankfully nothing like that's happened since. And there's a pretty big livable community here. And when we spoke to them, they're like, one guy had been here 10 years. He's like, I've never, ever known anything to get stolen from anyone's boat. No one's ever broken in. No one's ever done anything like this. So I think this is just one of those real freak occurrences. I think someone's just taken some I don't know, smoked the crazy pipe and just gone bananas. And yeah, just one of those one-off freak occurrences that just happened to happen the very first morning we were here. So anyway, it's a bit of drama, but anyway, more to the point, the reason we're here is because we've got a lot of work to do, huge amount of work to do. Turns out it's not just the rigging we're changing, the spreaders are changing, the roller furling system, there's tons of work that we need to get done, and hopefully we can get that done as soon as possible so that we can actually hoist a sail in 2020 and sail somewhere. That is the plan. Anyway, if you're happy with the fact that Carly and I managed to get off without getting hurt or anything getting stolen, then just hit the thumbs up button and let us know, share the love, and we will see you guys next time. Hope you're all well, hope you have all you need, and I hope you're staying COVID free. Take care. Bye for now.